Professor, you're nodding off again.
I'm not.
Your eyes have been closed for the past 32 seconds. Siberian has been trying to get a hold of you for almost 20 minutes.
Oh? Go ahead and patch him through.
Sir, you really need to head to bed. You haven't gotten a decent night's sleep in way longer than I care to relate. It's already past 11
That's not late at all.
a.m.
I'm fine. Just trying to get a few things done before I head up.
With all due respect, sir, your few things always seem to turn into more than a few things.
Siberian's right, sir. You've been trying way too hard to plow through new coding.
I know, I'm just tired of having so much to do and no time to do it. I'm just one person. I know I bit off way more than I could chew. That's why I'm trying so hard to finish all these projects. Even if it is all at the same time. You know I can't release something that's unfinished.
Regardless, sir, I can assure you that they will still be there tomorrow.
I suppose. Alright, you win. I'll be up there in a bit.
I take it he's on his way?
Yes. What are we going to do with him, Si?
I'm not sure. It's a pretty tricky situation.
The man's been running himself ragged for years. Well, more so his employer, but still.
I know you're getting pretty worried.
Worried is an understatement. For all that he does there, he seems to be treated pretty poorly. He doesn't really make a living there either. Even the lab hasn't been the same lately. Lamarck has got to be bored out of his mind.
You rang?
Well, not quite. We were talking about how the professor's been so burned out lately. He tries too hard to do so much, and ironically nothing seems to get done that way.
I see.
I looked at his financial records when I noticed he had to cut more expenses than before.
Now that you mention it, I suppose it has been a while since he's built anything new in the lab. Or even fixed up some of the old machinery.
I noticed he keeps the environmental controls turned fairly well down up here. In hindsight, that makes sense now. He just walked up the stairs, so we at least know he's not going to try to sneak off and work more.
That alone proves he must have been really tired after all.
Why is he trying to do so many projects at once anyway?
Unknown. It appears that once he starts on one, he'll sometimes get new inspiration, or find a way to integrate multiple project modules together. Then he goes and adds another onto that, and the rabbit hole gets deeper. Once he gets too far though, he can't release what he has coded since it'd be considered unfinished. Then, once Nexon changes something it breaks released coding, and we see the downward spiral from there. He tries to finish years worth of coding in a matter of weeks, and that simply does not work.
Sounds like the only way to go forward is to go backward.
What do you mean?
The only way he's going to be able to fix old coding is to completely remove the new coding.
Wouldn't that undo years worth of work though?
Perhaps not. I've noticed the professor has been modularizing a lot of the coding he does nowadays. Theoretically, it is possible to remove entire modules. It would still require a lot of manual code changes though, depending on how much that module is used. I have an idea. It might just be crazy enough to work.
That sounds dangerous.
Very funny. Anyway, if it's possible to seal away new coding, it could allow the professor to revert the code base to what it was before the new additions. If it works, He can then make any changes necessary to fix what Nexon broke, and then release without issue. The seal can be removed after the fact to allow the new coding to be worked on at a more appropriate pace.
That makes sense. You can access radar, right?
I can. I might be able to create the idea under a new project entry. Worth a shot. Let's try it.
Hello Fiona. What can I do for you?
I need to make a new project entry.
It's a bit unorthodox, but I see no issue with that. I'll need a project title for the initial database entry.
Let me think. It'll seal new coding away, albeit temporarily. How about Project Code Seal?
Code seal? What about time capsule?
I think perhaps Chronostasis sounds cooler.
Agreed. We'll use that.
Very well, the entry for Project Chronostasis has been created. I'll need more information at some point, but we can work with what we have for now.
I analyzed all the coding the professor has put in since the last release. It'll take me a bit to figure out what all would need to be removed. I'll get back to you on the details later, Radar. Good teamwork, everyone. I hope things go back to the way they used to be. We need our professor back. Speaking of whom, did he actually go to bed?
Indeed he did, surprisingly enough. Let's hope we can convince him to go through with this new project of ours.
A little tact goes a long way. I'm sure he'll see the reasoning. In the meantime, that's all we'll be able to accomplish for now. I'll go ahead and disconnect the comm channel.